CTV4 is proud to present IHSAA Tourney Basketball. Brought to you in part by Hills, a different kind of department store saluting American competition. Your Central Indiana Pontiac Pack dealers. McDonald's of Central Indiana, host of the 1990 McDonald's All-American High School Basketball Game. By Marsh. At Marsh, we value you. By True Value Hardware, your store of first choice. And by Toro Wheel Horse. If it doesn't say Toro Wheel Horse, it isn't Toro Tough.
This is historic Hinkle Fieldhouse on the Butler University campus in Indianapolis. Today it is the site of the Indianapolis semi-state of the Boys State High School Basketball Tournament. We're just minutes away from Game 1, which will feature the Southport Cardinals at 20-7, and the club which knocked the defending state champions out of this year's tournament on the same floor last Saturday night against the Martinsville Artesians at 18-7 and making their first appearance in the Sweet 16 since 1964. Our second game of the afternoon pits a pair of tradition-rich schools against each other when the Richmond Red Devils at 18-7 square off against the 22-5 Newcastle Trojans. Good morning from Hinkle Fieldhouse and happy St. Patrick's Day to you, one and all. This is Jerry Baker. The field was almost 400 about 3 weeks ago. Now it's down to the Sweet 16, and in about 11 hours, we'll have that Sweet 16 paired to the Final Four and getting set to move down to the Hoosier Dome for the first time ever and the biggest crowd ever to see a state high school basketball game. Let's meet the coaches and my cohort for today's activities. Here's Tom Hession.
Thank you very much. We're here with the head coach of the Southport Cardinals, Bill Springer. Bill, congratulations again on being into the Sweet 16. I know it's been a busy week for you. What about this club you're facing? Martinsville has been real hot throughout the month of February and certainly great tourney play.
Martinsville's been real hot, and they've been playing real good ball, and they're kind of on a roll, and so we'll just have to see what we can do with them defensively and kind of go from there.
You won a big one out here last Saturday night, knocking out the defending state champions from Lawrence North. Was that a satisfying thing to the point where your kids aren't hungry now, or are they just as eager as ever to get back here?
Well, I think our kids are still eager to get back out here. We've still got some things that we think we need to accomplish this year. That was a good win for us, but that's over with now, and what we did last week's not going to help us this week.
Two senior starters, one of them William Moore, averaging just over 17 points per ball game. What do you expect of him against this ball club now to help get another victory on your club?
Well, William all year has been, doing whatever needs to be done. Some games he's been, most of the time he's been our highest scorer. At other times he's handled the ball or played defense or rebounded or just about whatever we need to have done. So I would expect that type of performance out of him again today.
Good luck to you, Bill.
Thank you.
Now with the head coach of the Artesians, here's Jerry Baker.
All right, thank you, Tom, and thank you, Bill. Tim Wolf is the head coach of this Martinsville ball club. Tim, these have been real exciting times the last week, I'm sure, down in the city of Martinsville.
Well, this has been great not only for our kids and our students, but for our adults also. It's been a long time coming, and our community is really excited, and they've really gotten into this, and really had a lot of fun, and we hope to continue it.
When the season began, did you honestly think, Tim, that you might be standing here talking to me on this particular time?
Well, we had some goals, and of course, we've achieved probably most of the goals that we've set, and this is just a little bit of icing on the cake for us. We're awful young, and we felt like we were going to have a very good ball club, and we kind of got over some adversity early, and then we've been playing pretty well.
It's been exciting in the city of Martinsville, but it must have been especially exciting at the Wolf household this week because your son Ryan is the leader of this ball club.
Well, it's really nice when you go through something like this and you have the opportunity to share it with someone at home, and that makes it even a little more special. And so we've really had a good time with this.
Tim, thanks for your time. Good luck this afternoon.
Thank you.
Tim Wolf, head coach of this Martinsville Artesian Ball Club. Back to meet the squads in just a minute.
The last thing I want to do after a grueling day is cook. But do I want a great meal? Well, now Marsh has fully cooked meats. A selection of beef and pork, all the fat trimmed, just the right seasonings added. I pick up my favorites from the meat case. Barbecued ribs, roast beef, pastrami, filet mignon. Pop them in the microwave. A meal in minutes.
You value your lifestyle.
At home, in front of the tube.
And at Marsh, we value you.
It starts out as just a game, a kid with a ball, passing time. But a special few realize it's more than a game. It's a dream. And becoming the best is everything. These few we call All-Americans. On April 15th, they come to Market Square Arena to take their shot at the dream. McDonald's All-American High School basketball game. The stuff dreams are made of.
For all the foot traffic that goes on in your home, now's the time to make tracks to a True Value hardware store and save on a powerful Hoover vacuum. During Hoover Month, this Quick Broom 2, just $39.99, zips up messy spills on rugs and floors. For heavy-duty carpet cleaning, choose this lightweight Hoover Elite 300 with a 5-piece tool set. It's only $79.99 at participating True Value hardware stores at home centers.
Natural gas feels real warm. Natural gas is a true blue bargain. You are. Smarter to choose gas.
Well, the clubs have just arrived back on the floor. We're about set to play basketball. Game number 1 this Saturday morning. Let's pick up the introduction now, the starting lineups.
And here are today's first game starting lineups. First, the visiting Southport Cardinals. The non-starters first. Number 32, Shaka Lambs. Number 52, Brandon Courtney. Number 44, Richard Nichols. Number 24, John Springer. Number 22, Vaughn Williams. Number 20, Greg Lenz. Number 50, Matt McCullum. And now starting at 1 forward, a 6'4" senior, number 42, Stephen Parker. At the other forward, a 6'3" junior, number 40, Dan Von Delegan. Starting at center, a 6'4" junior, number 54, Marlon Fleming. At one guard, a 5'8" junior, number 30, George Hippill. And the other guard, a 6-foot senior, number 34, William Moore. The Cardinal coach, Bill Springer. And now for the home team, the Martinsville Artesians. Number 42, Pat Martin. Number 4, Eddie Fitzpatrick. Number 10, Brent Baston. Number 12, Jeff Booth. Number 22, Adam Guthrie. Number 30, Kerry Chandler. Number 24, Danny Paul. Starting at 1 forward, a 6'4" junior, number 3, Ryan Wolf. At the other forward, a 6'3" junior, number 32, Chad Clements. Starting at center, a 6'6" junior, number 40, Bob Denton. One guard, a 6'2" junior, number 5, Chris Wilburn. At the other guard, a 6'2" junior, number 20, Casey Walls. The Artesian coach is Tim Wolf. Today's first game officials, Tim Smith and Carl March.
Well, Tom, I thought your question of head coach Bill Springer was a pertinent one, and one that I wanted to ask also. Did they leave their game on this floor last Saturday night when they beat the defending state champions? He doesn't think so.
Well, I think the time lapse was a big help to them.
Exactly.
And they've had a week to think about it and compare these two clubs statistically. You see Martinsville, a much more upbeat offensive club, 76.4 points. The Cardinals a little less intense trying to get the ball up on the board as many times. Field goal percentage. Southport very mediocre there with 42%. Martinsville's done an exceptional job. Martinsville free throw wise a little bit above. Rebounds not much difference. The edge to Southport. Southport probably something that doesn't show on that screen. A little quicker ball play.
Yes. A little pregame ceremony here. A longtime friend of most of us in athletics in the state of Indiana. To the left of your screen is Howard Kent. Let's pick up the PA announcer again.
Hall of Fame to receive the Silver Medal Award. Accompanying Mr. Cat is Ron Harris from Lawrence North, the present tournament director.
I'll tell you what, Tom, this tournament might not have been able to have gone on a day-to-day basis without that gentleman right there, Howard Cat. He is a marvel.
Well, he lives this and has been a great credit to education and athletics throughout the state of Indiana. There are the officials. On the left is Nick Swigert. He's from Crown Point, Indiana, and Ron Grimes on the right hails from Bedford. We're ready to go.
All right, there's some big beef on these two ball clubs. Big Bob Denton, number 40 for Martinsville, and 54 for Southport is Marlon Fleming. So we'll watch those guys bang bodies in the middle. We got a great crowd on hand on St. Patty's Day at Hinkle Fieldhouse. And the opening tip is controlled by the Southport Cardinals. They will move right to left on your screen in the first half of play, and we'll check the defensive alignment now with the Martinsville Artesians. They come out early on, so well, it looks to be a bit of a zone.
That's right. They're going to go 2-3 zone, figuring that Southport's real skill is outside with Moore and Hempel. Last week they were big scorers.
That's some Moore and Hempel with the basketball out at long range. Fleming inside, forced the shot and got it.
That's going to be an interesting battle. You have Fleming in there at 6'4" and 230-some pounds, and there's a foul in the backcourt by Hempel. And then you have big Bob Denton, about 250-some pounds. He stands 6'6", and we're going to see some real action inside.
What was Bill Springer's comment at the meeting on Monday that they had with the semi-state coaches? If both those guys get on one side of the floor, it's going to tilt that way.
Well, there'll be some vibrations, too.
All right, here comes Martinsville. Their first winning season in 11 years. And, boy, they put together a great year. Bounce pass headed to the baseline that time is deflected away and stolen by Southport, and it is number 34, William Moore. Not only is the leading scorer in the ball club, but he leads this team in steals with 52 coming into this contest this afternoon. 2-0 with 45 seconds gone in the first quarter. Well, they're coming right back and getting down low on Fleming. They work out on near side to William Moore. They've got the open man on the far side over there, Dan Von Dealingen, but they're not going that direction. Here's a walking violation smack in front of us here. It looks like, Tom, this has some similarities to the games we saw last week against Eric Monfros, where as soon as the ball went into the middle, guys came from everywhere, and they're really doubling and tripling up now on Moore around Fleming in the middle.
Yeah, they're going to try and pack it back in. I think one of the interesting things right here, 8 of the 10 starters on the floor are juniors.
Here's Wolf. He's got to carry the scoring load on this ball club. Misses his first shot of the morning. 6:45 to go. Still a 2-0 basketball game. Hook far side. There is Dan Von Dealingen missing. Rebound down on the floor. Picked down low by Parker. Parker getting double teamed, is trapped and held ball in the aeroplane in favor of Martinsville. Good defensive effort by Martinsville so far.
Martinsville really didn't catch fire until about the last week in January. And I think one of the things that happened is the fact that the players assumed the roles that they were going to be able to play. And there's one right there, the Wilburn outsider. Denton down low, can't get it.
Rebound is taken away, and the foul will be on Denton, as a matter of fact. Big Bob, 6'6" junior. And that's his first personal foul. We'll look at it one more time here.
Well, you see Wilburn get the ball in the right-hand corner there to Walls. And he's going to look for Denton. He gets it to him. Denton's been a big man in many ways, offensively, as well as size.
Still a 2-0 violation. That's the second straight turnover now for the Southport Cardinals. That is not what we were used to seeing, what we saw last Saturday anyway, because it's a very well-disciplined, organized basketball team, and all of Bill Springer's clubs over the years have indeed been such. To the hoop, off the glass, and good. That's Wilburn. Wilburn is an 11.1 scorer. He is one of the guards along with Casey Walls. Ryan Wolf at forward with Clements. And here's the move inside. The basket is going to go in. Will it count? Yes, and the foul is going to be called against Martinsville. It'll be on Ryan Wolf, number 1 on him. That's a super move by William Moore. If you have not seen Moore yet this year, watch him. He gets a lot of stuff done.
Well, a little change of pace on the dribble. Moves all the way to the baseline. Gets around Denton. Little stutter step. Shoots it up. Draws a foul from Wolf. There's not going to be any free throw attempt here.
Well, the basket can't count it. Out of bounds.
No basket, no free throw.
All right, they take it off the board then.
One of the things I'm sure that Coach Tim Ryan's concerned about is the ability of Moore to penetrate inside that zone. That creates some real problems.
William Moore inside and back to Moore from three-point land. Rebound taken down in the middle by Parker, put back up and good. Stephen Parker.
That's a bonus when you can get Parker to do something on the offensive end. His main job this afternoon is to stop Ryan Wolf.
Here's Wilburn missing off the plans of the rim, and the rebound ripped out of there by Marlon Fleming. 5.5 minutes to go. First quarter, 4-2 basketball game. We had one tie. That was at 2. And Martinsville yet to take the lead in this basketball game this morning. Southport in front by a couple of points. That's been their biggest margin. Cardinals content to work the perimeter at this particular juncture. Another three in the air, and it's good this time. That is Hemphill.
Now Martinsville's going to have to make some decisions. Are we going to get back in and really make that inside tough to penetrate and cut off Marlon Fleming, or are we going to let Hemphill take that shot outside?
Fleming kept it alive, and Fleming's got the rebound. If you're going to pack it in low, you're going to pay a price if the guys on the other side could hit from outside. And that time, George Hemphill, averaging 7.1 per contest, got his first points of the morning on a three-pointer right straight out front. 4:40 to play in this first quarter. 7-2 Southport. William Moore, far side to Hemphill again. Back to Moore. That is starting to move out just a touch defensively. They go right inside in a hurry. This shot and rebound taken down by Parker. Put back up and missed it again. This time it's taken down and put back up by Fleming. Fleming, good, strong effort that time, and it's a 7-point lead now for the Southport Cardinals, and they have their biggest margin so far. The 2 points from Martinsville belong to Chris Wilburn. Here is Wolf. Got it. Three-pointer.
That was a big basket for the Artesians. Ryan Wolf outside showed you why he is averaging better than 23 points a game.
Well, he's the guy that's got to carry the scoring load, no question about it. Oh, what a super move by Moore again. That's similar to the one that he had a while ago where he was fouled and did not get credit for the hoop. He gets his first 2 points of the day. 11-5. Martinsville with the basketball trailing. Here's Wolf again. Oh, he's a good shooter.
Well, he has nice rhythm, good shot. Last week in their regional opener against Columbus East, looked as though Martinsville had a fairly easy victory, but that was not the case. They just hit more three-pointers and trading 3 for 2 on the other end.
Well, they're going to need some threes right now because they're in danger of getting themselves down in a big, deep hole early on in this contest. It's 11-7 now. A couple of three-pointer and a two-pointer by Wolf have put them back into the contest with 3:20 to play in the first quarter. Yeah, that's just pure muscle. That's Fleming for his third bucket. Good pass by Dan Von Dieligen. He's not a particularly large scorer, 5.7 per game, but he will get the ball from the corner into the middle, which is where they want it. Wolf missing this time. Rebound chased down on the near side by Big Bob Denton and knocked out of bounds in last touch by Southport George Hemphill. First substitution now for Martinsville with 2:59 to play. 13-7 is their score. They will send in Pat Martin, and we'll be back in just a minute as Martinsville heads to the sideline along with the Southport Cardinals.
It's the most eagerly awaited driver's sedan in Pontiac history. 4-door functionality charged with Grand Prix style, performance, and driving excitement.
Get on the Pontiac and ride! Pontiac ride!
Look it over. Check it out. Try it on. The new Grand Prix Sports Sedan. At your Pontiac dealer now.
Rebuild excitement! Pontiac!
Hills has made a commitment to America, a pledge to offer quality American-made goods. Other stores carry USA products. But Hills has more American-made goods than any store we know. Hills, committed to support America's future.
Liberty and justice for all.
Now Martinsville got here. They won the Martinsville sectional. Sizable margins there. As Tom mentioned, they were not always as easy as they might have appeared. And they then won the Columbus Regional with wins over Columbus East and Franklin. And we'll talk more about that game. Here's Wolf missing and a foul coming in from behind. And the foul is going to be on number 42. It's Stephen Parker. Interesting to note when you look back at the tournament, Wolf was the leading scorer in the Bloomington North game with 32. And we'll take a look at this again, and we'll talk more about this, Tom.
Well, here's a pretty good move right here being made by Ryan Wolf, and Parker behind him tries to swat it and really gets out of control and gets on the back. Wolf's going to go to the free throw line, where he is an 82% shooter.
He had 39 points against Edgewood in the Martinsville Sectional Championship game last Saturday. As he misses his first free throw, he had 26 points in the afternoon game against Columbus East, and Tommy only had 6 on Saturday night as Martin filled in that void with 28. And apparently Ryan suffers from an asthmatic condition. He was suffering from that last Saturday, had only 6 points despite the fact that his ball club won 82-78 over Franklin. Wolf gets the second one. He has a half a dozen points now, and it's 13-8. Southport still in front. They got the basketball.
They have Brandon Courtney, who came off the bench throughout the season to do a good job for the Cardinals, along with Shaka Lambs in.
Bill Springer will make changes. He can go 7 or 8 players deep and still feel comfortable. The three upstairs again. William Moore. That is the second three-pointer for Southport. George Hemphill had the other. At the other end, there is a block, but a foul on Brandon Courtney.
Well, Courtney up against Pat Martin right there. As Jerry indicated last week, Martin came in, got 18 second-half points in Martinsville's regional win. And here he is, he's a big kid, up against Courtney. And we have a foul on Brandon Courtney. Pat Martin averaging 12.2, a pretty good sixth man to come in and double-figure average like that.
Yeah, 6'2" junior. Averaging just a shade over 5 rebounds per ball game also.
In Martinsville, assuming that they're next year is going to be a very exciting one, too. They start 5 juniors. Martin comes off the bench. He's also a junior.
In fact, 8 of their 12-man roster are juniors. And you only find a couple of seniors on there. 2:20 to play, first quarter, 16-9. Biggest lead has been 8 for Southport. The ball deflected away on a great defensive play by Chris Wilburn. They'll bring it back the other way. Wilburn's got the three. Yes. Oh, not afraid to put it up outside, are they, Tom?
No, the development of Chris Wilburn and the role he plays may be as important as anything that has unleashed Martinsville in these last couple of months.
Hemphill got banged, got the ball free on the near side to Chaka Lance, who missed the shot, and here comes Ryan Wolf back with the rebound. He will take the three. And the rebound taken by Fleming, knocked free and picked up by William Moore. Less than 2 minutes, a minute and 40 seconds to play right now.
Tempo right now, kind of like Martinsville would like to have it, and I know that Southport's going to try and run some clock off here with this possession.
Artesian still set up in what basically is a 2-3 zone at the moment. They've got number 5, Chris Wilburn, and Casey Walls out high. Here's your rebound advantage. Southport with a strong advantage, and there is a rebound that came off and hit the guy wires atop the backboard, so the ball belongs to Martinsville. The rebound's going pretty much the way you expect him to go, Tom?
Well, when you're out rebounded 10-2, you're lucky to be only down by 4 here in this first period of play.
Outside shot has kept Martinsville alive. Wolf has a 3. Wilburn has a 3. But Southport has a couple of threes also. Here's their big guy, Pat Martin, missing out of bounds and last touch by Martinsville. But it belonged to the Southport Cardinals. Southport 20 wins and 7 losses. Last year they were 20-6. They lost to Lawrence North 71-61 for the afternoon game of the regional. But maybe the key was their assistant coach, Bruce Kalb, coached the reserve team to an 18-2 record. So a lot of those kids came up with some good winning experience.
Yeah, and they're starting 3 juniors also here for Coach Bill Springer.
We may have one heck of a semi-state next year at this time. Not that this one is not a good one either. Inside a minute, down to 52 seconds.
Martinsville not inclined to come out and force the issue with the time running down in the quarter, and the Cardinals very content to take a final shot.
Casey Walls and Ryan Wolf are the guys playing defense out high.
Now they moved into a 1-3-1, a little different zone pattern right now.
Southport's a pretty good ball club when it comes to hanging on to the basketball. They're going to try to get the final shot. William Moore and Hemphill. Now we're down to 20 seconds. And he's given back to William Moore again. He has Hemphill out there with him on the right side and lands on the left side. Now we're down to 7 and 6. This is Chaka Lands. Here's the guy they want to have the basketball, William Moore. He got it. Well, that's great.
That is better.
That is great ball control and super planning. So William Moore gets his second three-pointer at the buzzer, and we've played through one period, and it's 19-12. Southport leads Martinsville.
For great personal service and low everyday prices, check the lineup at your neighborhood True Value hardware store, where the March True Value of the month is this Allenite 30-piece screwdriver bit set. It includes 6 different types of tips, plus a magnetized driver, socket adapter, and a handy carrying case. In March, the Allenite screwdriver bit set is just $5.99, where you see the banner at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
At Marsh, our people make the difference, offering friendlier, more efficient service. Fresher fruits and vegetables. Leaner meats, custom cut for more value per pound. Helpful information and a sincere desire to make your shopping as quick and convenient as possible. You value fast, friendly service, and we, all of us at Marsh, value you.
Tim Wolf in his third year as the head coach at Martinsville, the record of 30-37. He has a career record of 189 wins and 115 losses. He's won 62% of his games. And Southport with the lead at 19-12 as we begin the second period. They got the ball inside, and that guy had a pretty good ball game last week, Courtney. And missed the shot up the back of the rim. In the first quarter, Southport hit 57% on 8 out of 14. Ryan Wilburn missing. Now, Wilburn a little out of control that time with his shot. Pat Martin pushes off underneath, I believe. Foul on the Artesians. That is on Parker. No, it's on Martin. Is it on Martin? Right.
42 on the other.
I thought it was the other way. All right, yeah, all right. Martin was number 1.
The number was right.
Martinsville is hitting 4 of 11 in the first quarter for 36%. And rebounds 11-2 in favor of Southport. And as Tom pointed out, they being Martinsville, may be fortunate to be in the ballgame with that kind of a rebounding effort. Dan Von Neeligan getting his first 2.
Well, you're going to have to see how far Martinsville is going to let him push him back inside that lane. Because Von Neeligan had a nice shot right there, and he can hit that.
Well, there's a great baseline move by Wilbur. This young man can play. They got good guards, Tom. They got good movement out front. They list Ryan Wolf as a forward. Well, he spends about as much time outside that three-point area as anybody in this ball club. It's a 21-14 lead now with 6:50 to play here in the first half.
Yeah, Eddie Fitzpatrick is in the lineup for Martinsville, replacing Walls.
Fitzpatrick is a senior, but only 5'9". He averages 5.5 points per. They've got Brandon Courtney playing the low post now.
Well, Fleming's taking a little break.
They seldom play the two guys together. They can, but I don't recall seeing them together very much last week.
Not too often.
That sort of pass in there, Courtney couldn't hang on.
A little more than Courtney can handle right there. Moore really whipped it to him, and Courtney not ready.
Whistle, foul. Away from the ball as they try to go inside, and the foul is going to be against Bob Denton, I believe. If it's Denton, it's 2. That's what it is.
Yeah, he and Brandon Courtney kind of locking horns there, and here comes Marlon Fleming back, so you get a little bit of Courtney, and then you commit a foul trying to get in position to get a pass, and now you got big Fleming to work with.
I'm going to say you get 2 different kinds of big guys there because Fleming's got the mass, and Courtney has got the height and the mobility. So that will be a problem for Denton working in the middle now for Martinsville. 21-14. Good rebound by Denton. He averages 10.5 rebounds per game. He's the top rebounder you might expect on this ball club. Ryan Wolf. Penetration about 10 feet. Too hard. Rebound. Foul called against 42 on Martinsville. That's Martin, and that's 2 on him.
Yeah, that was a little obvious there as Martin just pushed the hand right in the back of William Moore. We're going to get to see it, I think. 42, Martin watching. It's underneath. Well, we're not going to see his hand action down below. We got a good shot of the ball. There you see, it was Fleming, rather, up in the air.
That is the 5th foul against Martinsville, so the bonus is in effect. Will make the walk to the other end of the floor. Tom, it's not as though Martinsville's not getting good shots. They are. They're shooting very poorly at this point of the game, and I'm sure the last thing that the head coach, Tim Wolf, wants is for them to get out of the game plan he's devised.
Yeah, they're a little anxious to shoot the ball, and that may be a problem.
Here's Fleming. He's a 51% shooter, and he has 7 points so far today. 5 minutes, 55 seconds to play first game. First half. One. Sea of red and blue and green and white. It's a marvelous facility and a great feeling today. Rebound, back up, no good this time on a missed shot. Parker couldn't get it. And here comes Martinsville again. Now, let's see if they slow down the pace any of that.
The Artesians came out of that one pretty well.
Oh, they're anxious to get those shots up, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going a little too quickly with his shot, and Southport's getting the caroms.
And the coach wants to talk it over. I think he has spotted, Tom, what you and I were talking about. Tim Wolf is not a happy man right now. Timeout, 5:41 to play first half. It is Southport leading Martinsville 22-14.
Yo, I'm a hot potato MC and the fries. There's a new game, McDonald's fries surprise. When you buy hash browns, large and medium fries, peel off the tab and play fries surprise. Prizes like a 69-cent Big Mac, dude. Up to 10,000 cash, it just takes a winning attitude. Trips anywhere, Delta Airlines flies. Every time you play, you win a prize. McDonald's fries surprise won't last long, so hurry and play before it's...
Thousands of Indiana farms are currently insured with Indiana Farmers Mutual Insurance Group, and with good reason. In fact, there are many good reasons, like dependable protection at a reasonable cost, top-flight claim service, and an up-to-date philosophy that anticipates the needs of the future, offering auto, home, business, and farm insurance coverage with over 300 independent agents throughout Indiana. Indiana Farmers Mutual Insurance Group, a tradition of quality since 1877.
There's a man who last year at this time, Tom Eschen, was out on this particular floor, and he didn't know it at this particular juncture, but he was getting set to lead his ball club to a state championship. That is Jack Keeper, head coach of the Lawrence North Wildcats. He'd rather be out there right now, too.
He would like to seat across the floor if he had a choice today.
He's got a good seat here, but it's not as good as the one he could have or would like to have had. More on the miss. Here comes Martinsville again. Boy, they have really been trigger happy early on in this ballgame. Now, that may be, Tom, the way they like to play. Let's not be too critical until we find out, but they're putting it up awfully quick. Denton missing. Rebound taken by Southport underneath.
They're going to have some scoring from Bob Denton. He's averaging 19. You could tell that timeout was geared to do that, get that ball down low to him, but he still has the score in this game.
They moved it inside to Fleming. Rebounded by Parker. He lost it, and here comes Denton out of there with it. Now, if that was an indicator of the game plan, the conversation during the timeout was bring it up and push the ball inside to the big guy. They've got to get some scoring from him. There he is right there, Denton.
Yeah, he's handled them both times after the timeout, and I'm sure that Tim Wolf wants the ball to go inside, a little less quick shooting from the outside.
22-16, Southport with the lead. They've got the basketball. They lost it. Moore did and managed to go get it. No violation, and that's not what the Martinsville fans are thinking. They've got just a dynamite crowd here today. Their school colors are red and blue, and they have filled up one side of this, or one half of one side of this arena. As a matter of fact, Tom, they've moved down into the end zone down here. Here are the rebounds, and this is a major story in this ball game.
Southport's still up. Martinsville making very little headway in that category.
Here's the three on the way back. Dan Von Deligen tapped up once, no good, and a whistle and a foul over the back, I believe, on William Moore. That'll be one on Moore.
Moore got up pretty well that time, trying to actually bat the ball off the board and get a tip in if he possibly could, but he made contact. Whistled for the foul. That's his first. We're about the halfway mark through this second quarter. Southport maintaining a 6-point margin.
We've got some other scores which we'll pass along as soon as we have the opportunity. Eddie Fitzpatrick, short, rebound taken down by Pat Martin, up and good.
One of the first offensive rebounds that they've converted into a score. They haven't got many rebounds on the offensive end, and that one became two.
Great defensive play by Chris Wilburn at Fort Wayne. South Bend Riley has taken a 17-4 lead over Northfield. Over in Terre Haute, Bedford North Lawrence jumping all over. Well, here's going to Lafayette first. Lafayette Jeff at 12-6 winner over 11 at 12-6 leader. And a Terre Haute Bedford North Lawrence with a 10-point lead, 18-8. Those are all first quarter scores, by the way. Well, they got it reversed on the screen. Well, we'll double check that for you. Rebounded by Martinsville.
Denton has really come alive here. He has 3 consecutive defensive rebounds and a couple of opportunities offensively here. There's a foul on George Hinkle. Wilburn starts to go left with a basketball, and you see Hempel runs right into a wall. Bob Denton set that screen, and Hempel just bounced off, went to the hardwood, and Coach Bill Springer's going to make a lineup change. Hempel's going to come out, and Shaka Lands returns. So Bob Denton goes to the line. He's a football player, baseball player. As a matter of fact, when he finally finishes up, he's going to earn 12 varsity letters. He is some kind of an athlete. 22-18. Southport has been ahead by as many as 9. Martinsville has yet to lead in this ball game. A near steal by Ryan Wolf. Still in the zone. Fitzpatrick being a little more aggressive out front than they were early. Chaka lands on the near side of Von Dieligen, and Dan has his second bucket. It looks like, Tom, that maybe Southport is not as quick to trigger that outside shot, but they're still not afraid to take it with them packing it low inside on Fleming. Yeah, that's right. They're getting a lot of room to shoot it, and Von Dieligen and Parker, some of those kids, when they get their feet set, are pretty good shooters. 3 minutes to play here in the first half, and there's one of the guys who can shoot it, Chris Wilburn. Wilburn is the top scorer now for Martinsville with 9. He is shooting 49% from the floor. Their top field goal shooter is Ryan Wolf, who hits on 55%. 2:45 to play in the first half. Parker had a nice shot at the basket and elected to give it out to William Moore and let him try instead. 2 minutes, 35 seconds to play. 24-20, 4-point lead, Southport. Shaka lands, one of the first substitutes off the bench with Dan Von Dieligen. Lobbed inside, and the alley-oop is beautiful. Stephen Parker. Whoa, what a play. Parker is a tremendous jumper. The pass really didn't give him much room. It got to pin him against the board, but his leaping ability made the play. Well, that's a super toss and a super play scoring-wise. Denton had it knocked away, and another great defensive play turned in by Stephen Parker. Well, Parker is just a tremendous leaper, as we just said, and he is that kind of player. He's a great defensive player. Last week, they had him on Eddie Cassiano in the final game, and he took Steve Mazingo, Franklin Central in the afternoon game. Denton missing, rebound Fleming. 2 minutes to play in the first half. 26-20, Southport leads Martinsville. Von Dieligen out at long range. They give him all the room in the world out there. He's not going to take the shot, probably. It's inside and last touch by Fleming, and Martinsville will get the ball back again. The Artesians last year were 7-14. They lost to Eminence 70-68 in the Martinsville sectional. As I mentioned, they've just come off their first winning season in 11 years. They're 18-7. And boy, I'll tell you, Tim Wolf has done a great job along with assistants Brian Alexander, Jerry Wagner, Gary Dean, and Joe Sidowitz. They've really turned this program around. Southport, their 6th turnover right there. Martinsville only 2, and Ryan Wolf connects from 3. Ryan now with his second three-pointer and his 9th point of the contest. It's 26-23. Oh, great dribble by William Moore. Missed it, and a foul on Martinsville, or is it on Moore? No, it's going to be Moore at the line. Well, the players of Martinsville thought it was offensive, but that's not the case. Now watch William Moore take it behind his back right there in order to elude Chris Wilburn. And Martin, 42, is going to pick up his 3rd foul. Yeah, that's going to change things in a hurry. A change there. He will go out. And it will be Jeff Boo coming in. Jeff's another one of those juniors. He stands 6'3". William Martin will be the free throw shooter. 76% on the season for William. He is 0 for 2 today. He hasn't scored a point this period. He had 8 points in the first quarter. They were all from the field, including 2 3-pointers. Martinsville averaging 76 points a game coming in here. They're much below that right now, but they have an opportunity to be right in this contest. Wilburn got it inside. Couldn't get the bounce at his own rebound. Put it back up. Great effort, but he missed it again. Now here's Denton, finally. Bob Denton, 27-25 after being down by 9. Martinsville has come roaring back, and pressure, three-point
three-quarter court pressure, which has been this way almost since the beginning of the basketball game, may be starting to take its toll a little bit. Inside a minute.
Well, I think they have extended their defense a little bit, trying to speed Southport up some in their offensive maneuver. But when they get it down here against the half court, the Cardinals have still maintained a very patient approach.
Now, this is what happened to Southport at the end of the first quarter, and they came away with a three-pointer. So we'll see how it transpires here as we head toward halftime, which is 30 seconds away. William Moore. Dan Von Dieligen on his right. He has the basketball. Also coming out to help out is Chaka Lands. And a great defensive play by Ryan Wolf and picked up by Eddie Fitzpatrick. Now Martinsville's got a chance to tie or go ahead. They have not led in the game. Inside to Denton. No. Rebound pulled down by Southport. William Moore with 5 seconds to go. Open man outside is Fleming. The three is up. It's off the mark. Tapped up once. Won't go, and that's it. Well, this has been what happened to half of basketball here. Nothing's been settled, of course. With the score at halftime, the Southport Cardinals 27 and the Martinsville Artesians 25. Stay with us. We got an interview for you coming up shortly. Then we'll recap the first half of action.
It's the most eagerly awaited driver's sedan in Pontiac history. 4-door functionality charged with Grand Prix style, performance, and driving excitement.
Get on the Pontiac and ride!
Look it over. Check it out. Try it on. The new Grand Prix Sports Sedan. At your Pontiac dealer now.
We build excitement! Pontiac!
Indy Connection Limousines offers all kinds of exciting packages to take you to and from your favorite sporting events. Travel to IU or Purdue for basketball, football, soccer, or whatever. And Indy Connection can show you and your friends the best tailgate party you've ever seen. An Indy Connection limousine is a great way to go to Cincinnati Reds or Chicago Cubs games, too. So call Indy Connection for your next road trip. It's fun, safe, and affordable. Indy Connection Limousines.
You know, when you got it right, you got it right. Whether you're talking about this, or whether you're talking about the one and only Diet Cola that does it for Ray, Diet Pepsi. You know, nothing tastes as good to me as Diet Pepsi. All right, now, who is the wise guy?
Diet Pepsi with 100% NutraSweet.
Now, that's the right one, baby.
When opportunity knocks.
Bob Marley, Lakeshore Utility. We've got a Class A level gas leak in the neighborhood.
TTV4's got the answer.
Hello. Greetings.
With free passes to the premiere of Opportunity Knocks, starring Dana Carvey.
Hi, my name's Dana Carvey.
To win, be watching The Great Escape, Saturday afternoon at 2:30 here on TTV4.
There will be no escapes from this camp.
Well, you speak for yourself, Colonel.
A chance at free passes to Opportunity Knocks, Saturday afternoon at 2:30 on TTV4.
We are back at halftime. There you see the score on your screen at 27-25 with the Southport Cardinals. They one time had a 9-point lead. That has disappeared. And Martinsville with a chance actually to tie the ball game or take that lead as we headed toward the halftime mark. In a short span of time, we will have concluded this high school basketball season, and then we're going to be selecting some All-Stars, and we'll be going down to Market Square Arena for the All-Star game. And alongside me is Pat Aikman, who is the game director for the Indianapolis Star as they sponsor again this year the Indiana-Kentucky High School All-Star rivalry. And Tom, you guys actually, Pat, you guys actually got this thing started last week when you announced your Miss Basketball.
That's right. We announced Miss Basketball, and this week, of course, we'll announce the remainder of the girls' team, and we'll announce the showcase shooter for the girls, and then we'll start on the boys' cycle.
Patricia Babcock, you know, it's when the name was announced, it surprised a couple of us because we don't get to see the Culver military girls down here. She must be quite a player.
Well, she is. She certainly has a fine, outstanding reputation around the country, as well as Indiana. In fact, she was just selected as the outstanding player in the South Bend area this week. But that's one of the difficult things about basketball in Indiana. A lot of people don't get to see a lot of good kids, and you get some real surprises sometimes.
So we'll be showing you the game here on TTV4. What's the date for the home game? And the first game is in Kentucky this year.
The first game's in Kentucky on the 16th of June, Jerry, and we'll be at Market Square Arena. Hopefully we'll have a sellout on the 23rd of June.
Speaking of that, how do the folks out there who are watching us this morning, how do they get tickets for this game?
Well, they can simply write the Indianapolis Star in care of Indiana All-Star Basketball. Tickets remaining are $10, $8, and $7, and $1.50 for handling. So fire them off to us.
Now, the boys' Mr. Basketball will be coming up when?
We'll be naming Mr. Basketball on the 8th of April, and we'll be naming the boys' coaches on the 1st of April. And then we'll wind up with the boys' all-star team on the 15th of April.
You know, this is an interesting year this year because you've got guys like Damon Bailey, you've got an Eric Montross. This may be one of the toughest decisions you guys have had in a while. I know everybody's probably giving this already to Damon Bailey, but there may be others who must be considered also.
Well, there are, and I keep telling people that it takes more than 2 players to have an all-star team, and I think people realize that. So, you know, you have to have really a solid core of 8 or 9 players, and we have 12 on the all-star team. It's incredibly tough. I just went through that with the girls' team selection. There's some fine kids who are not going to make the team. There are probably some people who are going to be surprised, and some who are left off, and some who made it. And that's one reason we introduced a couple of new events at the game. The showcase shootout for 3-point shooters for boys and girls, and this year we're going to have a new event, the slam dunking event for boys. And I think I've seen some people out here today who might make good candidates.
We're talking with Pat Aikman, the game director of the Indianapolis Star in the All-Star game. One of the things I wanted to be sure to talk about today, Pat, was the fact that the proceeds from this game go to, I think, just a marvelous cause.
Well, it does, and it's gone to the Fund for the Blind, operated by the Star since 1946, and we've raised over $1.25 million from the proceeds of the basketball game, and it goes to buy eyeglasses, to send children who are blind to blind school, and just do a lot of things of that sort. So the Indianapolis Star is pleased to do that. And it's great for the young people of Indiana to come in here and help us raise that money.
You say you're going to announce the rest of the girls' squad tomorrow without breaking any secrets. Can you tell us, do we have some local girls in the area of Indianapolis that might be on that squad?
I'd say yes, that's correct.
And no hint as about who Mr. Basketball might be?
I wouldn't make any guess on that.
Well, Pat, thanks again. They can get the tickets by writing the Indianapolis Star. You've had the order blanks in the paper, I know, for some time. And we'll be showing the game here on TTV4. And the girls' game starts at 3:45 on that afternoon.
Correct. And I want to get a plug in for my alma mater, DePaul University, which is in the final game of the NCAA Division III championship tonight.
You were an all-pro there, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
I see. Okay, thank you. You were there for how many years?
21.
As the sports information director.
As the director of public relations.
All right. Thanks again, Pat. Appreciate you coming by today.
Thank you, Jerry.
Pat Aikman, the game director for the Indianapolis Stars. Fun for the Blind at their high school all-star basketball game. We'll be back as you see the score with the second half of our basketball game in just a minute.
For all the foot traffic that goes on in your home, now's the time to make tracks to a True Value hardware store and save on a powerful Hoover vacuum. During Hoover Month, this Quick Broom 2, just $39.99, zips up messy spills on rugs and floors. For heavy-duty carpet cleaning, choose this lightweight Hoover Elite 300 with a 5-piece tool set. It's only $79.99 at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Hills has made a commitment to America, a pledge to offer quality American-made goods. Other stores carry USA products. But Hills has more American-made goods than any store we know. Hills, committed to support America's future.
Liberty and justice for all.
We have a corporate commitment at Marsh to eliminate lines at checkout counters. And we have a commitment to provide the customer with the best possible service. Having a person available to sack your groceries and carry them to your car is part of that commitment. Our philosophy at Marsh is very simple. You value good service, and we value you.
It starts out as just a game, a kid with a ball, passing time. But a special few realize it's more than a game. It's a dream. And becoming the best is everything. These few we call All-Americans. On April 15th, they come to Market Square Arena to take their shot at the dream. McDonald's All-American High School basketball game. The stuff dreams are made of.
The Southport Cardinals have just arrived back on the floor at Hinkle Fieldhouse. They've got a 2-point lead. Other games going on today at Fort Wayne, South Bend, Riley, and Northfield. We showed you scores on those a while ago at Lafayette. The second game there, by the way, is Concord and Whitco. Up at Lafayette Jeff versus Lebanon, Anderson versus Gary Roosevelt. And over in Terre Haute at the Holman Civic Center, it is Terre Haute North against Bedford North Lawrence. That game is now underway. We'll try to watch that carefully for you. And Lagodi against Evansville Bosse. And the winner of this particular semi-state, by the way, will play the winner of the Terre Haute semi-state. And that'll be the second game next Saturday afternoon. And just looking ahead, Tom, you and I and Hilliard Gates will be on hand at the Hoosier Dome, which will be a brand new experience for all of us. We'll be on the air early on Saturday morning, about 10:30, with our beginning live coverage throughout the day.
Well, it's certainly going to be interesting playing in the facility downtown, the Hoosier Dome. We're going to talk to Bob Gardner, one of the assistant commissioners of the IHSAA, between ball games concerning that state tournament being played in the Dome.
Let's take a look at some stats in the first half of this ball game. I got a feeling, let's first off look at the individual scoring. Pretty balanced scoring for the Southport Cardinal Ball Club.
Well, it really is. George Hemphill, who had a couple of double-figure scoring games last week, only 3 points at halftime. Nobody in real foul trouble, but leading the way, as would be expected, William Moore.
And also, as you might expect, it's Wolf and Wilburn showing the way scoring-wise for Martinsville.
That's right. I don't think Martinsville really got themselves back in until Bob Denton became a little more of a part of it, and he got his couple of field goals there midway through that second quarter, and that's been a big factor for them.
That was right after they had taken that timeout and sort of reevaluated.
Now, there was 4:27 to go at the timeout. There are the team stats. Neither team shooting exceptionally well, although Southport above their normal 42%. They're at 49, as you see. Free throws identical. Three-point attempts almost the same. A little rebounding edge here for the Cardinals, which they've maintained from early in the game, and they also have turned it over more times. So it's a 2-point contest going into this second half. And Chris Wilburn, who had 29 assists last week in the regional.
That's
29 assists for Chris Wilburn. That's kind of surprised here today with his shooting. And he has hit 4 of 9 for 9 points, but he still has done well in the assist department with 4.
It's interesting to note that Martinsville has only turned the ball over 2 times in this ball game, once in the first quarter and once in the second quarter. Now, part of that, Tom, might be because they don't hold on to the ball very long.
No, they shoot it up. Each team starting the lineups that open the ball game. Clements back for Martinsville. Hemphill back in for Southport.
There's the guy right there. They're going to have to get some scoring out of it. That is Ryan Wolf. He is a 6'4 junior, averaging 23-2. He has 11 points in the contest. Great defensive effort by Ryan Wolf. They get the steal, and they missed shot this time by Wilburn. And the rebound comes down to Southport, and a reach-in foul on Ryan Wolf. And that'll be 2 on him.
Martinsville has become very aggressive with their defense. You indicated in the second quarter a little bit about that, and we have seen that it has continued, and it is beginning to bother the Cardinals.
Well, it is now at halftime at Terre Haute with Bedford North Lawrence and Damon Bailey up by 7. At Lafayette, you see a 10-point lead for Lafayette Jeff over Lebanon's Tigers. And at South Bend, and a good ball game going there with Northfield now taking the lead by 2, 43-41. Outside banger is on its way and good by Dan Von Dieligen. He's got a half a dozen now. One of the starting forwards averaging 5.7, so he's right at his scoring norm.
Well, you can know that Martinsville coach Tim Wolf assumed we can let him go a little bit, and when you do it, Von Dieligen's been hitting. There's a frequent attempt by Walls, an infrequent attempt, I should say, at the basket, and he got no iron.
5-ball game at 27, and then suddenly Southport hits the bucket. They're up by 2 again. That's only the second time, by the way, the game has been tied today. We're a minute into the third quarter. Von Dieligen on the other side.
Well, he continues to be the hot man for the Cardinals from an unexpected source right there, and that may alter the configuration and responsibilities in the Martinsville zone.
Lead goes back to 4, 31-27. Lob near side to Ryan Wolf. Wolf with a good jumper. He got the defense beautifully that time by Stephen Parker, and he missed the shot. And here comes Southport again. So Martinsville made a run, got the tie ball game. Now they turn it over with a travel violation right in front of the Newcastle section and right in front of head coach Bill Springer.
Well, he saw he was going to charge the defender had he continued in his course and tried to alter the path, but he had to take steps to do it.
You saw Bill Springer on your screen, 8th year at Southport, a record of 97 and 85, won 53% of his games. Career mark, he's won over 440 wins and 264 losses in 31 years. And still getting the job done. Here is Wolf, and a miss.
Well, he got fouled. Steve Parker, who generally gets the assignment of handling the leading scorer for the opposition. Little quick move there by Wolf, you see, and he got around Parker. And then Marlon Fleming's the one that picks up the foul.
Put it on Fleming, yeah.
Yeah, Fleming did commit the foul after Wolf had eluded the primary defender, Steve Parker.
Free throw by Ryan Wolf is good. He is 2 out of 3 so far in this game today. He's a 82% shooter, which is #1 on this Martinsville roster. Did not get the roll on the second shot, and the rebound comes off to the Southport Cardinals. 6 minutes and 5 seconds to play in the third period. 31-28. Southport with the lead in front of what is nearly a packed house at Hinkle Fieldhouse. The basket will not count.
Now he's on the end line.
All right, stepped out of bounds. There's your score. And there is the head coach of the Martinsville Artesians, Tim Wolf.
Yeah, Tim has his coat off. Bill Springer's got his sweater off. It's serious business from here on in.
It is also rather warm here at Hinkle Fieldhouse this afternoon. Ryan Wolf knocked away, whistle, and a foul. And the indications are it will be this time on Stephen Parker. All right, that is the third on Stephen.
Well, he thought he had the ball. There's Wolf stopping. Parker goes up with the hand, knocks the ball away. And the whistle from behind on the baseline was blown, not from the official out front. And I think that always provokes the fans and the coach more seriously offended.
Ryan Wolf. Ryan has scored in his career 1,174 points. He needs 67 points to break the career scoring record of Jerry Seaston. You think he's got a shot at it since he's only a junior?
I think he's a cinch.
He played on 2 AAU national championship teams, so he's been in this degree of competition in the past. Here is the steal by Chris Wilburn, and an intentional foul is being called.
Well, I think it was a correct call. And we're going to have a timeout by the Cardinals here. Bill Springer going to try and get them back in some semblance of array right here at organization during this timeout.
The wheels are wobbling in Southport's machine right now. 31-29. They still lead over Martinsville with 5:39 to play in the third quarter.
Well, there's Harriet's brand new car.
Can't believe how much she paid for it.
Oh, it looks like she's going to pay even more.
I better call her.
I hope she's not in a tollway zone.
It's busy.
If you're missing important calls, you need call waiting, one of GTE's smart call services.
She's in a tollway zone.
Still busy.
When you're on the line with one person, it lets you know somebody else is trying to reach you.
She's off the phone now.
Sometimes it's either call waiting or car towing.
That's my car!
When opportunity knocks,
Bob Marley, Lakeshore Utility. We've got a Class A level gas leak in the neighborhood.
TTV4's got the answer.
Hello! Greetings!
With free passes to the premiere of Opportunity Knocks, starring Dana Carvey.
Hi, my name's Dana Carvey.
To win, be watching The Great Escape, Saturday afternoon at 2:30 here on TTV4.
There will be no escapes from this camp.
Well, you speak for yourself, Colonel.
A chance at free passes to Opportunity Knocks, Saturday afternoon at 2:30 on TTV4.
Tom, here's one of the strangest plays we have seen so far in this particular semi-state basketball game. It's Southport possession. What happened here?
Well, Chris Wilburn's taking away that pass back to the point right there from Von Dilligan. He makes the steal, and Moore comes from behind and swats him. And the official calls it an intentional foul. 2 shots, and he has connected on the first.
And it also means possession of the basketball for Martinsville. They can tie the ball game now for only the 3rd time today. Oops. Ryan Wolf is normally very effective at that free throw line, hitting 82%.
That was Chris Wilburn.
I'm sorry, Wilburn hitting 71%. And Chris now with 9 points, make it 10 in the ball game. Here's Denton again.
That was a well-conceived move, an inbounds play off the side of the floor, going to the corner, then an entry pass to Denton, who's coming alive here after the first quarter and a half of play, which he was almost non-existent in their offense.
That is the first lead change, and it's the first lead for Martinsville in this ball game. They've been behind by as many as 9.
I think Martinsville's defense has been a contributing factor right here in addition to Denton's offense, because they have really slowed Southport down and been very aggressive in doing it.
William Moore missing from outside, and the rebound comes down to Martinsville's Chad Clements. They can just feel the momentum of this ball game doing a complete 180. Nobody got Denton. He missed the shot. The rebound by Wolf. He makes it.
Well, a couple of unusual things there. Denton wound up all alone. They're going to have a technical foul here on Ryan Wolf. He can't believe it. He kind of threw that ball back into the crowd after it went through the hoop. Usually it's a warning the first time, but it's a technical foul in this instance. You see Ron Grimes, the official, talking with Ryan Wolf, although Ron's not the official that called it. You see the ball probably in the face of the official that we can't see right there. It went into the crowd, and a technical foul whistle. Martinsville had 3 technicals last week in one game at the regional.
For what, do you recall?
Well, one was disputing a call, and I'm not sure what the other 2 were.
William Moore, yes. He has 10. Well, they tend to get a little excited once in a while. Not sure there was any malice intended. Wolf just really wanted to get it out of bounds and get back up floor. And them both. You know, Tom, over the years, they've had trouble with that in the professional ranks because players would take the ball and actually hold it for a split second to allow them to get back defensively. Yeah. And that's not normally a problem at the high school level.
Now, usually there's a warning first if it is, but I think this must have been right in the official's face, maybe.
4 minutes and 35 seconds to play in this third quarter. 34-33. Martinsville has a 1-point lead.
Talk a little bit about the Martinsville defense. You see Wilburn out at the point. They're trying to keep them from reversing the ball from one side of the floor to the other, and they've got Walls back inside on the zone. And that's one way you can take care of a lot of problems back inside. The other thing it's enabled them to do is really put a little more pressure on the ball, which we recognized earlier. They were really dropping back and giving Southport some good shots.
Here's the great defensive play by William Moore. It's 2-on-1. They got it. George Hemphill.
Hey, it's been a while since Southport had a steal.
That's right. They have been very content to lay back and do what has been done to them, sort of box down low against Bob Denton. The missed shot comes out long, and the rebound is to Chris Wilburn, and it's out of bounds and an offensive foul. It is on Wilburn. That is his first.
Well, Wilburn just a little out of control that time. Ball got away from him.
You know, I like what, we got a timeout. 3 minutes and 47 seconds to play. 38-34 in the third quarter with Southport out in front. I like what Tim Wolf had to say because it's been a long time since Martinsville has been at this level. And I asked you, this is before we went on and we were chatting, and I said, what kind of a week has it been? He said, very hectic. And then we talked further, and he said, but we're letting the kids enjoy it, which I think is great. So many times you get so caught up into something, the fans enjoy it, the parents enjoy it, but the kids don't get a chance to enjoy it. He said they've had a good time this week.
Well, it's very easy when you get into a situation where a lot of emotion is involved to not be able to focus upon the things that really are worthwhile, part of an educational experience, and also a good competitive situation. And you have to give people credit that are able to maintain that focus and perspective.
And I've heard the same conversation at the college level. Coaches who took their ball clubs into the NCAAs or NITs the first year, and the second time around was a whole different ball game. Well, there's Bill Springer. He's been here a couple of times. He has been very effective. He's won 10 sectionals. He won 4 at Brazil, 1 at Bloomington South, and he has now won 5 at Southport. This is their first regional tourney win this year. He has won 4 straight sectionals down to the south side of the city at Southport High School.
Well, in the second half, Southport's been shooting very well, and Martinsville still subpar for them. But right now, they're the ball club that's trying to catch up still, down by 4.
Well, Martinsville took the lead to 3 a couple of minutes ago, and that's the biggest margin they've had. Here's Fleming. He's got double, triple team, and still got the bucket. Fleming did not score a field goal in the second 8-minute session. He has 9 points so far today.
Well, that's a very athletic move for a big man.
He does use that ball very effectively. Ball is kicked away to belong to Martinsville.
Well, let's see what they do. Well, they're going to give it to him under the basket. I thought they might put it in play on the side of the court. We're going to have a couple of changes. Fitzpatrick and Martin are going to come back on for Martinsville.
Going out of the ball game is Casey Walls. We have not heard from him scoring-wise, and Chad Clements. So they've got a starting guard and a starting forward, Tom, who have not scored so far this afternoon. Ryan Wolf. Wilburn. Yep. It's a three. That's the second three-point field goal for Chris Wilburn. Ryan Wolf has one. So they've used that outside shot to great effectiveness today.
Well, there's the turnover for the Cardinals. This defense of Martinsville is really giving Southport some problems. First quarter, Southport had 19 points. And since that period of time, they've had 21 points in a quarter and 6 minutes into the third period here.
We got to check it, Tom. Are they changing that defense? Because they've been using it throughout the game.
Oh, they're changing it. They have dropped, instead of 2 men up front on the zone, they now have 1 man trying to keep the ball from getting to the point and reversing sides of the floor, and the other man's dropped back in the center. And they're also putting some pressure on the shooter much more effectively than they did early.
2 minutes, 45 seconds to play. Third quarter action. Hinkle Fieldhouse semi-state round of the Boys State High School basketball tournament. And a super baseline move by Wilburn again.
Okay, Chris Wilburn, if you've had the opportunity, and most of us haven't, but to watch Martinsville over the last couple of years, his development has really lent itself to a great deal of success for this club.
It's a 1-point lead by Southport. It's a 3-point lead for Southport. George Hemphill now with 7 points. Martinsville wasting no time getting it back up court. The one thing they are now, though, is a little more patient than they were originally. Here's Eddie Fitzpatrick. Blocked away, and a foul coming in from behind on Marlon Fleming. I show Marlon with 2 personal fouls.
Well, Coach Tim Wolf wants the basket. He's not going to get it. Here goes Fitzpatrick moving around more. Now he's going to come into Von Dealingen and have the ball swatted from behind by Fleming, but Fleming made contact. We're going to see the contact here. Von Dealingen stands still trying to draw the charge, but Fleming comes up over the back and commits the foul.
Some changes now. Chaka Lance to be back into the ball game along with Brandon Courtney for the Southport Cardinals. They came in tandem substitution-wise early on in this ball game, and Courtney can get some things done. Now, when he comes in, they normally take Fleming out, but he's still in there this time, Tom. Fitzpatrick's getting his first point of this ball game today. He is a 5'9" senior sub off the bench, averaging 5.4 and 1.2 rebounds.
Well, you got a couple of big free throws right there.
That chops the lead to 1 again at 42-41 with 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the third quarter. Southport Cardinals. They're wearing those cardinal and white uniforms. Cardinal trimmed in white.
Let's look at the defense. You see Wilburn is out putting more pressure at the point. And he's going to stay back there and keep that pass. He has to throw it across the floor rather than go to the point man. And that allows the defense to adjust.
Well, they have let George Hemphill get free in that corner. In fact, there he is right now. They don't seem concerned about him, but as soon as he gets it, they really cover up well. Double team. Hemphill comes near side. A minute 35 to play in this third quarter. Fleming will take the 15-footer and hit it. Well, that's a great asset to have when your big guy can go out and hit that 15-footer.
Yeah, he's a remarkable athlete. He just does many things well with a lot of agility and finesse.
Good lob pass to Denton.
And there's another one of the same variety. Bob Denton of Martinsville. Nice pass. Wilbur, he can really feed that ball from the outside.
1 minute, 8 seconds to go. Three-pointer in the sky. Hit the top of the board. The rebound is taken down by Wilburn. Here comes Martinsville with a chance to take the lead.
Good thing it was a high rebound. Southport was ready to rebound it on the opposite side.
And a foul called on Wolf. Ryan picks up the personal foul.
Well, he got out of control. Never really could control the dribble effectively. We're going to see it again. Here's Wilburn with it. Gives it away. And it kind of deflected off of Martin. Loose on the floor. And Wolf's just grabbing arms and everything and legs and make a nice tackle.
Well, there were about 3 intended receivers on that particular pass, and none of the 3 was quite sure who was supposed to get it. Well, they gave room to the open man. He puts it back outside, and the three-pointer is up and good by William Moore. They left Hemphill all by himself, and Moore has his fourth three-pointer of the game.
Well, let's take 3 rather than 2.
Absolutely. They've been very effective. The lob inside is stolen by Fleming. And I mean, there were Cardinal-colored shirts all around Big Bob Denton that time. Final 25 seconds of the third quarter, and it's 47-43. Southport still with that lead.
This is an important 20-some seconds right here, depending upon the defensive abilities of Martinsville or whether Southport can get another score.
Well, they tried this at halftime, Tom, and not only did they not score, they gave the ball up to Martinsville and they scored.
Well, they're having their problems right now.
They gave it up again. And it's stolen back at the other end on a super play by Hemphill. The shot is up. Oh, hit the rim, and it's no good. We have 8 more minutes to play, and there's an awful lot that hasn't been decided so far here this afternoon. It's 47-43. Southport leads Martinsville in game 1 of this day.
It's the most eagerly awaited driver's sedan in Pontiac history. 4-door functionality charged with Grand Prix style, performance, and driving excitement.
Get on your Pontiac and ride!
Look it over. Check it out. Try it on. The new Grand Prix Sports Sedan. At your Pontiac dealer now.
We build excitement, Pontiac!
You aren't getting the facts on meat. Marsh has Meat Nutrifacts for pork, beef, and lamb. The most complete set of nutritional facts available. Calories, fat, cholesterol. Every bit of truth in a 3-ounce serving of meat is displayed at the meat case. Not only does Marsh have Meat Nutrifacts, they have recipes. Free brochures that offer fast, fabulous, healthy ways to prepare your pork, beef, and lamb. You value knowing the facts, and at Marsh, we value you.
Let's give you some other semi-state scores from around the area at Fort Wayne. Game number 1 up there, South Bend Roddy with a 2-point lead through 3. At Lafayette, it's Lafayette Jeff with a sizable 44-31 margin. The winner here at Hinkle will play the winner at Terre Haute, and right now it's Bedford North Lawrence. Our latest score shows Bedford North Lawrence by a 37-28 score. Whistle foul against Southport, or did he walk?
No, he called a travel. He hit Fitzpatrick, lost his balance, took steps, no foul. But a little moisture on the floor.
Nobody in serious foul trouble. Nothing that's going to impact as far as 4 personal fouls are concerned. A couple of players with 3. And we're inside 10 seconds gone here in this 4th period. Still very much anybody's game. Here is Wolf. He forced the shot, couldn't get it. Rebound is long to the far side to Eddie Fitzpatrick, going against the legs of the defensive man over there, Dan Von Dealingen. Well, let's see, Tom, the rebound advantage still Southport's 23-16. They're closing the gap a little bit.
Well, Southport did, however, shoot very well on the period. And now 56% for the game, Martinsville at 40.
Off balance out front, Wilbur. He has 17 now. Martinsville in that third period turned the ball over 5 times. We had talked about the fact they had not turned it over very much. They turned it over 5 times. But so did Southport. Denton on the rebound. They could tie. Game has been tied twice, a 2 and a 27. We've had 2 lead changes in this contest. Southport's biggest lead has been 9. Martinsville's biggest lead has been 3. Right now it's 47-45. Southport with the lead. Martinsville with the basketball. Bounced inside to Big Bob Denton. Tie ball game.
Denton has a nice touch, and he's beginning to get the feel of going against Marlon Fleming right here. And big basket for the Artesians off the baseline.
George Hemphill. Lob clear across the court to Dan Von Dealingen. And back out to Chaka Lands. And a timeout will be taken. Southport. Bill Springer is not pleased with what he has seen so far in the first minute and 18 seconds of this 4th period. So the score is tied at 47-47 with Southport and Martinsville.
Yo, I'm a hot potato MC and the fries. There's a new game, McDonald's Fries Surprise. When you buy hash browns, large and medium fries, peel off the tab and play Fries Surprise. Prizes like a 69-cent Big Mac, dude. Up to 10,000 cash, it just takes a winning attitude. Trips anywhere, Delta Airlines flies. Every time you play, you win a prize. McDonald's Fries Surprise won't last long, so hurry and play before it's
P&D. We know the feeling.
The feeling of success.
Cardinals won the Southport sectional. Moore was the top scorer in each of those games at 21, 19, and 30, respectively. He was also the leading scorer in the regional here at Hinkle Fieldhouse as the Cardinals knocked off the defending state champion Lawrence North. Moore had 15 in the game against Franklin Central and 18 against Lawrence North. And the three-pointer by Dan Von Dieligen, and it's his first three-pointer of this ball game. He has 11. Tom, and the outside shot's been a major factor for both ball clubs.
He's showing us a little range here today.
Here's the shot that's off the mark, and the foul is on Fleming. And I've got 3 on Big Marlin.
Now, Fleming thought he was going to block the shot of Wilburn. Wilburn did a good job of using his body to protect the ball. He got it away. Here it is. Fleming comes after him. Shot left in the air. You're always going to get that shot away, so you get to shoot 2 when the whistle blows. And Fleming's job, make sure it doesn't go in. Well, it wasn't going to go in, but he picked up his 3rd foul.
Bill Springer was talking about Marlon Fleming, is that he's made great progress this year. He has gotten better from last week to this week, I think, Tom. He's a fun young man to watch. The way Martinsville hangs tough. They got a couple of times they could have folded their tents earlier today. They did not.
Well, they are very competitive, and there's a big turnover. Again, the defense forces it for the Artesians, and Steve Parker got the ball along the sideline. All he could do was get a hand on it, but not control it.
Well, Martinsville's been in some heavy battles in tournament play. Here's Denton inside. Turnaround. Yes! Offensive foul on Denton. Oh, that was a tough call there because Denton made a sensational move to the hoop.
Well, we're going to see Denton as he turns to his left after getting the pass. Now, here he comes back to the left.
Yep.
And he ran into, I think it was Parker in that instance.
That's a good call. Boy, some great defense employed. And last touch on the inbounds pass by 34, William Moore. That's super defense.
I really don't think that Bill Springer expected this kind of defensive play out of Martinsville.
They have moved that defense further up court as the game progressed. They were picking him up at about three-quarter court. Now they're right down and facing him on the baseline. Lobbed inside to Denton, thrown away. Martinsville, I started to say, has had some battles because they have their average win in 5 tournament games is less than 9 points. 9.8. They've won 5 games by a total of 49 points. So they have fought the war. 6 minutes and 10 seconds to play in this ball game. 50-48. Southport with a 2-point lead and a whistle and a foul. And I believe it'll be on Wilburn.
You saw the statistic there of Southport 14 turnovers, Martinsville 8. And in a close game, of course, any little factor can be the difference.
Couple of fouls on Wilburn. If the sun keeps shining and it goes away, and I keep thinking the lights are going out in here. Hinkle Fieldhouse has been refurbished, and there's still some lots of areas that let light come in. And it's been a strange weather situation for the city, and I keep thinking the lights have gone back.
Yeah, there's a big rebound by William Moore.
On the miss by Parker. 50-48. Near side, William Moore. Nothing going there. Fleming really getting fronted by Ryan Wolf, and they've got Bob Denton playing in behind. 5 minutes and 45 seconds to go on this ball game. It is still very much up in the air. Southport out in front by 2. Oh, good pass to Dan Von Dieligen, and he couldn't hang on to it.
Well, they got the ball where they wanted to, I think, inside, but no avail.
Missing. Rebound. Martin back up off the mark. Way off the mark. Rebound by Southport. That's Fleming again.
Fleming got it. Martin really didn't have a handle on that ball. He tried to get the shot up, and he had good position on the floor to take that shot, but didn't have the ball.
Southport's offense now is setting up low post on both sides down around the baseline. They've got Parker on one side and Fleming on the other. Now Parker comes over here. Fleming gets the shot away and is fouled. Let's see who they put it on.
I think it's going to be on Pat Martin, and he's having difficulty this afternoon. Every time he turns around, they're whistling a foul on him. He hasn't logged that many minutes. There's a pass, and Hempel again goes into Marlon Fleming, and you see the carrot-topped junior, Pat Martin, whacking him on the arm, picking up foul number 4.
Interesting to watch that offensive pattern because, Tom, they set up a low post down to the baseline, and they move down along that baseline. Parker, and he was wide open on the near side, and they didn't go to him, but they went inside anyway.
people anticipating a two-shot free throw and kind of let that ball bounce in the lane.
Wilbur gets the roll. Chris has 20 points. And it's a tie ball game at 50. That is the fourth time it's been tied. And a foul on Martinsville.
Going to go on Denton. And that's a call that maybe could have gone either way. Let's see. Hemphill, a little change of pace, tries to beat Denton. And I think the official made the proper call. Denton's leaning in there toward the baseline.
Yeah, now we're going to see what Tim Wolf is going to do. Well, first he's going to take a timeout because that's the fourth foul on Big Bob. 4 minutes and 45 seconds to play. It's a tie ball game at 50. As Tom pointed out earlier in our telecast, Southport ran off early in the first quarter and scored 19 points. Now, in tournament play, Southport is averaging 65 points per game, 64-6 in tournament play. And Tom, they still may get it, but they have been slowed down considerably since that first quarter outburst.
Yeah, they did have a 20-point third period, but the second quarter of only 8 hurt them. And right here, they have only tallied 3 points, and we've played about 3 minutes and 15 seconds into this final quarter.
Game number 2 coming up in just a couple of minutes, and it may be as good as this one because it'll be Richmond and Newcastle. You talk about a couple of ball clubs, Tom, who have tradition. When you look back over the years, those two ball clubs, those two schools really do.
Well, they generally have met a week before this when the regional was over at Newcastle. And, of course, the new Kiernan Center in Richmond has put a regional over there, and they restructured a little bit, so they're going to meet here today. Right now, we don't know how much longer this one might last. We've got a tie ball game here in the fourth quarter. Both clubs really throwing everything at each other. A lot of effort expended out here this afternoon, and certainly it's going to be interesting to see this last 4:45 in the fourth period.
George Hemphill goes to the free throw line. George is a 64% free throw shooter. This is his first trip to the line this afternoon.
Well, he makes good on that first one.
Hemphill now with 8 points. His average is 7-1, so he's done his job today. Couple of critical free throws for the Southport Cardinals. They go back and front 52-50. They've had 4 ties in this ball game. Couple of lead changes. And a whistle. And a foul against Southport.
Now Moore had his hand out on the offensive man as he started to go to the baseline.
Number 3 on George. Martinsville's got a pretty rich tradition. You stop and think they haven't been to the semi-state for a while. They have not. But they have been to the Sweet 16 in the history of the school 20 times. Been to the Final 8 9 times, Final 4 7 times, Final 2 5 times, and they have won 3 state championships. So they got some trophies hanging around Martinsville High School. They won it in 1924, 27, and 33, all under head coach Glenn Curtis.
Well, they had a pretty good performer on a couple of those ball clubs named John Wooden.
Not bad. I don't know what happened to him after he left there, though.
No, he gets back occasionally. I was down last year, by the way, when they dedicated the gymnasium, and Wooden was there. It was a very nice evening.
He talked to the team this week. Gave him some inspiration. 52-51 on the miss by Chris Wilburn on that second free throw attempt. We're down to 4 minutes and 20 seconds to play in this basketball game. Making fun of head coach Bill Springer.
Well, every possession very critical right now, and the Cardinals recognizing that.
Gutsy shot, wouldn't go for George Hemphill. Rebound foul against
Southport. Well, Parker's over the back of Denton. Hemphill had a good shot. He just didn't get it to fall. And Bob Denton. Let's watch this. Denton gets himself in a little bit underneath too far. But the jump by Parker was not particularly vertical. I think he'd have been out of trouble had he done such. As Denton really had packed himself down under the hoop, but Denton's going to go to the free throw line.
That is the third foul, by the way, on Parker. Denton was a 71% free throw shooter, Tom. That's pretty impressive statistic for a big guy like this.
Yeah, he's got a nice touch.
Second one rolls out. Tie ball game at 52. Well, we'll see what Southport's game plan might be. Will they keep up the momentum, or will they try to slow it down a bit? They've tried that on 3 occasions. 2 of the 3 occasions at the end of the periods have resulted in disaster.
Well, I think they're going to try and get the ball inside the zone if they can.
is Von Dieligan. And Hemphill. Back to Dan. It's kicked. And it'll belong to Southport.
They tried to get it out on the baseline, but not a very good angle on that pass. And Ryan Wolf got the shoe on it as he kicked it away.
I don't think Martinsville, Tom, is going out of the zone all day, have they?
No, they've been a zone from start to just a little bit of change in the way they line up and what they're trying to do with it.
Oh, they left Moore with all kinds of room, and he hit it. It's a three. Oh, man, what a gutsy shot. That is his 5th three-pointer of the game. 55-52 with 3:18 to play. Rebound. Off the missed shot that time by Wilburn. Taken down by Fleming, and a whistle and a foul. It'll be on Chris Wilburn. I saw him with 3.
Well, Marlon Fleming grabbed a big defensive rebound that time for the Cardinals. And in trying to get it out of there, he was swarmed by Wilburn. Fitzpatrick. The foul goes on Chris Wilburn, his 3rd.
Look into the bench section of the Southport Cardinals on the other side of the floor. You saw Brandon Courtney, one of the big guys at 6'4", sitting right next to head coach Bill Springer, although Bill rarely sits down over there. And here's Fleming with an important free throw. He's missed his last 2.
That ball didn't really leave his hand very well. He tried to spin it a little bit and didn't get it back on the fingertips.
3 minutes to play. 55-52. Southport by 3. The winner here back tonight at 8 o'clock. Our telecast on TTV4 at 8. Basket would not have counted had it gone. There was a foul called prior to the shot on Stephen Parker, and that's 4 on Stephen Parker.
Hey, one of the things that Martinsville has kind of lost offensively is Ryan Wolf.
Change it to Dan Von Dieligan. Parker was in the area. They opted to go to Von Dieligan instead. And that's his first. Here's a guy that's worked hard today, Tom. Pat has scored 3 points. A free throw in the first quarter, a field goal in the second. He's had his hands full battling Courtney and Fleming in the middle.
Well, he's one of the reasons they're here today. He had 18 points in the second half of their regional championship game victory over Franklin.
He plays baseball. He was a starter on this ball club for about 2/3 of the season this year, so it's not like he wasn't getting any playing time and suddenly came off the bench. And in that regional game against Franklin, he had 28 points. That was the game we told you about when Wolf was not quite up to speed because of the asthma. 5 points now for Pat, and it's 55-54. 1 point lead for Southport with 2 minutes and 50 seconds to play.
Wilburn just puts constant pressure outside from wherever he's lined up in this zone.
William Moore has got to be of some concern to the defensive unit now of Martinsville. He has it right there, and he is not shy. Out to Hemphill. Near side, Dan Von Dieligan. Great defensive play by Chris Wilburn. The lob pass up court to Eddie Fitzpatrick. Patrick throws it back in. Save, put up and good by Pat Martin.
Oh, that was quite a sequence.
What a series of events on Martinsville's part.
I'll tell you, Wilburn actually wound up guarding 3 people down here and blocking a shot.
What a play. It's 56-55. Now with Martinsville out in front, that's only the 3rd lead change of the game, and a timeout by Southport. I don't know if we're able to show you the replay of that last sequence on that sensational defensive block by Chris Wilburn or not. But what a great job he did, Tom, and not just blocking the shot, but keeping the ball in play.
Well, he was defending the point, forced the pass, nearly got his hand on the pass, and then when a second pass was made to the eventual shooter, he was there to block the shot, made a nice toss down to Fitzpatrick, who looked like he was going to run out of room at the end of the floor. He tried to bounce it off the Southport player's leg. It didn't carry him out of bounds, but it went to Pat Martin, who knew exactly what to do with it.
I'll tell you, this is the kind of a game, Tom, you really want. When you get to the Sweet 16, this is what you're looking for. Up and down, nose-to-nose basketball. You look at foul trouble on the screen. Martin and Denton each with 4, but we're looking at 1 minute and 59 seconds to play. The only way that becomes a major factor is if we have to go to overtime, and I guess that's not out of the realm of possibility right now. Here's the free throw percentages of the Southport Cardinals in the free throw line. And you take a look at that, because if fouling becomes a factor, you better bet
But both these coaches know who they like their guys to go after on that floor out there. Martinsville, you better stay away from all 4 of those dudes. Well, they will bomb you. Chad Clemens has come into the ball game for Martin in the Martinsville lineup.
Here's Von Dieligen, way off the mark, rebounded by Fleming and fouled by Chris Wilburn. Now Wilburn joins the endangered species of 4 personal fouls.
Now, if you were sitting and trying to think out ahead of the game what might happen in a situation that way with a 1-point ball game, less than 2 minutes to go, you've had a timeout, and you throw it in, and Von Dieligen shoots one from the sideline. I don't think that was in the plan.
I don't know if it was in Bill's plan or not, but it wouldn't have been in mine. Fleming. This is last 3. Not this time, though.
But he did have a good rebounder on the opposite side of the basket.
He did. Well, maybe it was that pass we saw last week in the Southport game against Lawrence North, I believe it was, wasn't it? The air ball that turned into an assist. Rebound comes down to Martinsville. And it was Chris Wilburn who was Johnny on the spot. We are tied at 56. That's the 6th tie of this game. Martinsville, they wouldn't dare play for the final shot, would they, Tom?
Well, I think they're not going to force the issue unless the defense breaks down in front of them. Then they might. It's a 4-corner offense right now.
Eddie Fitzpatrick is number 4. 3 is Wolf. 4 is Fitzpatrick, and 5 is Wilburn. They're the guys out deep handling the basketball. And they got double pressure that time on Fitzpatrick, who managed to somehow get it to Wilburn over here. Now Wolf is their top field goal shooter, but they go down instead low to Clements, and Clements scores.
His first basket, I believe.
As a matter of fact, it is. With 1 minute and 4 seconds to play, they went to Chad Clements, the 6'3 junior, and he went baseline and got it. Less than a minute.
He penetrated with the ball and found the nick in the defensive armor, and they used it.
Here's Hemphill going back to Dan Von Dieligen, now to William Moore. What do they do here? Back to Hemphill again. Do you try to get it inside to Fleming? 39 seconds to play. It's 58-56 Martinsville. Hemphill fires, missed it. Rebound to Fleming. Fleming back up, no good, but he is fouled.
Hey, that shot that Hemphill took barely got on the glass. And again, Fleming saved an errant shot from being a complete disaster.
I swear I don't want to try to read Bill Springer's mind, but Tom, they've taken 2 or 3 shots that I swear are passes off the backboard. They're just very, very strange. Bill will take a timeout. I believe he signified he wants the timeout. And well, now maybe he's changed his mind.
Well, Pat Martin has re-entered the game for Martinsville.
Well, that was Denton's 5th personal foul. That's why. So Bob Denton goes out of the ball game with 11 points and 9 rebounds. Fleming has had some difficulty at this free throw strike. Foul again. An intentional miss by Fleming, and Southport's got more life.
You're calling that an intentional miss?
I absolutely believe it was. We'll ask him.
Well, I would doubt it was intentional. I think he saw it was going to be a little short and took off after it, but Moore is going to go to the line.
Well, let's look at it again, and we'll make a decision here.
All right.
Well, I don't know. We'd have to ask him to see what he says.
He's not going to intentionally try to miss this one.
No,
William Moore.
I can assure you of that. Well, Moore had missed his first 2 free throws this morning and afternoon, and now has struck out 4 in a row. He is the top free throw shooter on the ball club, along with Dan Von Dieligen at 76%. They can tie it now with 28 seconds to play. What a wild game this has been. Rebound by Martinsville. The Artesians, they've got a man wide open. There's a big collision, and the foul is going to be on Dan Von Dieligen, I am sure.
Well, a diagonal pass across across the floor, and you might have heard the collision. Von Dieligen and the sturdy Pat Martin.
Back Von Dieligen a little slow getting up. Take a look at it here.
Wilburn tosses it intended for Martin. There they go. And Von Dieligen goes down. Martin retains his balance, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Well, Pat Martin is 3 out of 4 from the free throw line. He's a 64% charity shooter coming into this afternoon's game. With 21 seconds to play, his ball club is up by 1. So these are critical. Well, that Martinsville cheering section, I don't think that entire section, not just the cheering section, but parents alike, has sat down this whole ball game. They go from the floor to the rafters and sneak out into the end zone down there. They got a ton of folks here. It's the second one. Rebound comes off to Southport. It's a 2-point game, 59-57 to 16, 15, 14. George Hemphill all the way in, scores! High ball game at 59. Martinsville. Here's the shot by Wolf. He missed it. Rebound back up. No good. We'll go in overtime.
Well, Wilburn had an opportunity on a missed shot by Wolf. A pretty good chance to lay it back up and in. But it wouldn't fall, and you saw what happened. And we're going to put 3 more on the clock. And Bob Denton has fouled out, and that may be a big factor, Jerry.
Will be a major factor. We said it might be if they went to overtime, and that indeed is what has transpired. There's your score. We go OT, 59-59. Well, I'll say one thing, Tom. They got a couple of pretty good shots away, and the guys they wanted to take it were the guys that took them, Ryan Wolf and Chris Wilburn. Here's that big bucket, this big move by William Moore.
Well, it's by Hemphill.
Hemphill, I mean, George Hemphill.
He lost his balance and luckily was not defended closely enough to lose the ball. Comes out, Wolf can't shut him off. He finds the gap between Martin and Wolf, get it off the glass. And George Hemphill, the junior backcourt man, got it up there. Let's watch at the other end now. Here comes Wolf. And you see the clock in the lower right-hand corner. Wolf's going to take an off-balance shot over Parker. Now watch the rebound off to Wilbur, who gets there just in time to get it off the glass, but it wouldn't fall. Fleming ended it all, and we're going to toss it up at center court.
Well, these are tough times on guys like Tim Wolf there and his coaching crew. His comment before the season began was, we're a year away, but the young kids playing a lot will benefit. Well, this is a great benefit if you're talking about really believing your ball club was a year away.
Yeah, they haven't convinced Bill Springer they're a year away.
No, I guarantee you they have not. Southport controls the tip in the overtime period. What a game this has been. We're tied at 59. That guy right there, Hemphill, is the one that made the tying basket. Here's Dan Von Dieligen missing. The rebound is put back up and off the mark, and no foul call. Fleming gets it again, missed it again. The rebound on the near side to Ryan Wolf. We've got a held ball with the arrow pointing toward Martinsville. Boy, it is. Take no prisoners in there. What?
Well, I thought maybe the bean and the whistle got stuck.
I couldn't believe this one.
Here's Parker, and look at that.
Oh.
He got a hold of his wristband as he started to go up. Fleming comes back. And that's just a missed shot right there. And then we have a held ball situation. Martinsville possession.
You got the feeling for 1 split second that everybody was kind of waiting for the whistle to blow, too. Well, that's as they love to say in broadcasting, they're letting them play. 59 tie with 2.5 minutes to go in this overtime period just underway. Jerry Baker and Tom Hatchett at Hinkle Fieldhouse with Southport and Martinsville.
4-corner offense here for the Artesians with 2:15 to go.
And part of that might be, Tom, because they have lost Bob Denton, and that does change your game plan a bit.
Well, that, and I think they've got a lot of confidence that they can handle this offense, and Martin and Southport may make a mistake in trying to double team and leave the man open as Clements was able to cash in earlier.
As has been the situation throughout the last half of the game, it's Wolf, Fitzpatrick, and Wilburn, number 3, 4, and 5 on your roster, who are the deep men. And down along that baseline, Pat Martin is working with Chad Clements. Clements is the guy that hit that all-important hoop to tie the ball game.
Now, Bill Springer has to be thinking, are we going to let them take it down and throw a last shot that if they hit it, wins it, and we don't get a chance?
Well, this has just been a showcase high school basketball game. We saw one last week between Pike and Lawrence Northwood. I thought was a great one, and this is a different kind of a game, but it's a super basketball game. We got 1 minute and 15 seconds to play. First possession of the overtime period for Martinsville, and they're in no hurry to go anywhere. They're looking for the opening, but it's just not there. Chris Wilburn, number 5. Eddie Fitzpatrick is 4. Ryan Wolf is number 3. And that is Chris Wilburn with the basketball. You see the clock. We're inside a minute.
Well, they've got Chad Clements over there. He hasn't come close to touching the ball here. He's a 54% free throw shooter. Other than that, they're all pretty good statistically from the line.
Hemphill tried the wraparound reach in to no avail. 35 seconds to go. I don't know if I'm surprised at this strategy or not, Tom. I'm not sure anything surprises me today. Here's the foul. And that's kind of what they were looking for, I guess. Hemphill. That's the third on George.
I don't think Coach Springer is disappointed by that fact. I think you're really risking a lot when you go down and let them have a final shot. If it goes in, it's all over. You wrap it up. You'd like to have a chance to come back and hit one, or at least force the opposition to make some free throws, and Fitzpatrick's going to have that opportunity.
71% free throw shooter. He's now 3 out of 3. All of his points have come to the free throw line today. Eddie Fitzpatrick. He is described by head coach Tim Wolf as a young man with a big heart. Well, they're testing his heart right now. He missed it, and the rebound to Southport. Now, the Cardinals don't have the luxury of trying to work very long to pick up that shot. They have got to bring it down and set up the play and do it. 15 seconds to go in overtime. William Moore. They double team Moore in the corner. He can't find anybody. Better hurry. Calls the timeout. Pretty good thinking on the young man's part with 6 seconds remaining in this ball game. He got himself deep in the corner, Tom. The last place Bill Springer wanted him down there because he couldn't find any help. Here are some other scores coming in. It is a final score. Bedford North Lawrence has beaten Terre Haute North by 2, 56-54. What a game that must have been. At Lafayette, it is in the middle of the 4th quarter with the Lafayette Jet Broncos leading the Tigers 65-64. And a final. Tom, you told me this Northfield Ball Club was pretty good. They have beaten South Bend Riley 81-72. They are for real, apparently.
Well, they have some size. If they get through here, they may be one of the bigger clubs down here next week. But of course, we've got another game to play today.
Well, we do too if we ever get to it. We're going to try to grab the winning coach of this game, if indeed it ends anytime soon. Well, the record at the end of the first quarter was 19-12 Southport. At time, 27-25. Cardinals were still up by only 2. At the end of 3, they had a 4-point lead, 47-43. Martinsville really came to play in the final 8 minutes. Tied the ball game at 59 in regulation. They have gone to the free throw line, hit 1 free throw. That was Eddie Fitzpatrick. He missed the second, so it's 6 seconds to go. And 60-59. Southport trails, but they have the basketball. They've got it inside to William Moore. He is fouled by Pat Martin, and I've got Pat for 5. Take a look at this again. They'll come right down to that corner we had talked about earlier. You see the clock, and here's the drive to the hoop, and you also see reaching in as Pat Martin trying to slap that ball away. The official right on the baseline makes the call. And what do we got here? A timeout taken, I believe, or we're showing 4 seconds to play. Substitution now. Now the timeout by Martinsville. Well, there is Bill Springer. A look into his huddle over there. They were preseason rated number 14 by the Associated Press. UPI had them number 13. But when all is said and done at the end of the year, they were unranked in both polls. They had some problems along the way. They won a very difficult Marion County tournament, beating Pike 49-42, and just couldn't get it going on a regular basis. And after they had won the county tournament, things seemed to go awry for them. But as always seems to happen to good ball clubs, they got to put back together toward the end of the season. This is a very team-conscious ball club, according to Bill. As far as Martinsville is concerned, they finished 4-3 in the South Central Conference. You look into their crowd of fans, well, there are a ton of them here today. They won 9 of their last 10 ball games. Their lone loss in that 10-game span was to Bedford North Lawrence. And a lot of clubs can say that this year. In one game this year, Martinsville scored 121 points. They defeated Owen Valley 121-76. So they have met the test defensively and offensively. And now, as you look back in the Cardinal area, it will be Southport at the free throw line with William Moore, who is 4 out of 7 today. 76% shooter, tied with Dan Von Dielingen for the lead on the club. Here's the big one. We are tied at 60. William Moore's had a great day. He has 5 3-pointers. Now Bill Springer really stopping on the floor to get the attention of one of the guys in the ball club, Stephen Parker, to get out here and play some defense on Ryan Wolf. 4 seconds to go. William Moore's second free throw in an attempt to give Southport the lead with 4 seconds remaining. And the Southport fans explode back behind this 2-hour left. They get it in. They've got the ball to Wilburn. Thrown way up, of course. Big shot is up. It is off the mark. I'm not sure it would have counted anyway, but the miss by Ryan Wolf, and the game is over. And it has been some kind of a game. Whoa, in overtime. Southport wins it 61-60. Not much scoring. Southport getting only 2 points in OT. On the free throws by Moore. And Martinsville getting just 1 on the free throw by Eddie Fitzpatrick. Bill Springer out greeting his ball club as they head toward the locker room here at Hinkle Fieldhouse this afternoon. And we'll try to get a comment if we can from Bill. Boy, what an excellent, marvelous effort on the part of this Martinsville ball club. They will finish the season with 18 wins and 8 losses. Southport goes to 21-7, and we go to Tom Hessian.
Here's Coach Bill Springer. Coach, my golly, can you still breathe after that one? What a contest.
Well, that was a heck of a game. I'll tell you, both teams gave it everything they had. And we were fortunate enough to be up there at the end of the ball game with our player that can stick the thing in a hole for us, and the kid come through for us again.
Tell you, their defense really gave you some problems, didn't it?
Their defense gave us a few problems, but we scored 61 points, so it didn't give us too many.
Von Dillingen outside, little surprise there, but he really contributed well.
He does a good job for us, and he's been coming on in the last part of the season, and we expect him to do that type of thing.
Coach, this is tough now. Can you come back with another one tonight?
Well, we'll do the best we can. That's all we can do. We'll get prepared for this game, come out and do the best we can.
Coach, good luck to you.
Okay.
We're going to see the last shot of the ball game coming up right here, as you see William Moore at the free throw line. And this one he has to have in order to put the Cardinals ahead. And there it is. And now the Artesians are going to put it in play to Chris Wilburn. 4 seconds to go. They get it to Wilburn. He knows time is going down. He releases it with 3. Comes off the backboard with a little bit of zip back into Wolf's hands. He's off balance slightly to the left, and that's where the ball went, to the left as time runs out. A great overtime win here this afternoon for the Cardinals. Jerry?
Well, as we see on the replay, the shot had it gone. That final shot would not have counted. What a sensational game, with the Cardinals winning at 61-60 after leading by as many as 9. Martinsville led by 3 points on a couple of stages of the game. The game was tied 7 times, and there were 3 lead changes. Oh, that'll just brain you. Richmond is on the floor. Newcastle is on the floor. We'll be back with more from Hinkle Fieldhouse in just a minute.
It starts out as just a game, a kid with a ball, passing time. But a special few realize it's more than a game. It's a dream. And becoming the best is everything. These few we call All-Americans. On April 15th, they come to Market Square Arena to take their shot at the dream. McDonald's All-American High School basketball game. The stuff dreams are made of.
At Marsh, every butcher is a master. And every steak is cut from top-quality, grain-fed USDA choice beef. Guaranteed tender, trimmed just as you like it, and backed by Marsh's best side down guarantee.
Nice selection. Well, thanks. I wrote it myself.
You value quality, and we value you.
All over Indiana, Hoosiers are choosing the 10 o'clock news.
And there's times where I'd like to get the news early and go to bed.
It's on earlier than all the other news.
Sports is my main concern, and I just like getting in a little bit earlier.
Good reporting. Rather than trying to manufacture the news, they do report it. They're the best.
It's obvious.
So why wait up? Get your news first. Watch the 10 o'clock news, weeknights on TTV4.